What do you get when you mix a health coach and a wellness coach mixed with a lot of curiosity? You get two people who ask a lot of questions about health and wellness. Today, we ask, how can you retrain your brain?
No matter how old you are, there are some things you do on repeat that maybe you don't want to do anymore. We talk about ways to change that old thinking. So let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what?
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Kamna.
How
How are
are
you? Sorry, my phone was binging. Sorry about that. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. How was the week for you? All right.
I don't remember. So I think it was good. No, no, I really truly don't remember. So I'm assuming it was a great week.
Yeah,
Busy and crazy, I think, and, decent.
nice.
Yeah. How about you?
It was a little slow, which I never do good with slow. I need it to be busier, you know.
Okay.
That's okay.
You don't like boring weeks.
I don't. And my mind goes to all dark places.
I don't like quiet weeks.
I don't either.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? And I wanted to ask you about this, but since we're recording, I might as well ask now. So I'm working my summer job, and I get they lovingly joke with me that I talk a lot and ask a lot of questions.
Yes, this is
And
your
then
best gift, though.
oh, well, thank you. Well, yesterday, my quote unquote boss, which I call her my boss, but she's really just my friend. She said, "I think you have that mental health disorder." And I said, "Okay, whatever." And she goes, "No, it's that one." She's like, "That when you talk, you have to have so many words a day come out of your mouth, and it helps your mental health and it helps you from staying depressed." And I said, "I've
I
never heard of this in my life." And she said, "No," she said, "It's a real thing." She said, when she was going through therapy, she is not that way, but the therapist said to her that there are a lot of people who, in order to keep them from being depressed, they have to talk. There's a certain threshold of words. Have you ever heard of this?
No, but it's fascinating. This is not the direction I thought you were going to go.
Sorry, but so she was like joking with me, and I was very jokingly, I go, "Fine, I'm not going to talk anymore." And she goes, "No, we need you to, or else you're going to get depressed on us, and we don't want depressed Leah." But she's like, "I just realized that you must have that mental," and I'm like, "Do I? Do I need to talk that much?"
But if this is a method you use for your mental health, I don't see a problem with
Oh
it.
no,
And
I don't either. But I
you're
was,
not talking only about yourself. You're actually asking
oh
questions
yeah,
and being curious. So to me, that's a benefit because who doesn't want to talk about themselves?
she was talking. She said that too. She's like, "It's not." She's like, "You're acting like I'm insulting you. I'm not. I'm saying like I finally found somebody who I think really has that,
Oh my God,
whatever
I'm so
it is."
fascinated with this. We're going to have to talk about this a lot more.
Okay, good. But so I think I might have that because I can't stand when it's quiet. I feel like I get depressed. I do feel that way. Like when my house is too quiet, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
I think I need to have so many words come out of my mouth in order for maybe it releases some endorphins or hormones or something and keeps my brain regulated.
I am putting this on my list for next time.
I also am wondering if people I know that don't talk a lot, if they're depressed, like maybe they need to talk some more.
Yes. Hello. Yes.
Anyway, I just had to tell you that because I was like, when she said it, by the way, we have a very lovingly joking relationship.
Of
Do you know
course,
what I
it
mean?
sounds like that.
So
Yeah.
it was like, I was like, fine, whatever. I'm not talking to you anymore. And I lasted like maybe 30 seconds, you know?
That's
Anyway,
part of your charm, though,
I,
honestly. It's not a
I,
bad thing.
well, all right. So how was your call to action this week? And what was it?
My call to action was to not go over 25 grams of added sugar and have
Oh,
one splurge day where I planned my dessert,
one day, not one
one
a day.
one meal
Okay.
in the week, one whatever, one dessert in the week.
Okay. And
I failed so miserably.
I'm
I got
so
an
happy
F
to hear this.
minus completely. Like not
Okay.
even one day I was successful.
Okay. So what was the hardest part?
So there was a couple of things I really was thinking about this. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a failure. I can't talk about being a failure. I don't know about this. And that's number one. I don't like to fail. I
Okay.
need it to be perfect. And
Okay.
then the second thing was I didn't prepare well.
Ah.
I didn't prepare alternatives and I didn't prepare a plan for, okay, when I'm craving something, what am I going to eat instead? Or what am I going to do instead? I didn't have any
You didn't have
alternatives.
a plan. You just made a wish and threw it out
Yes.
there to us.
Yes. And number three was this is the, you're going to laugh at me, but because I said it out loud and I was bound to doing it, I couldn't stop thinking about sweet things.
Oh, I believe that. That's like a definition of something, isn't it? Like once you say something, you see it everywhere.
Yes, it's like the white car. You
Yeah,
only
yeah,
see
yeah,
white
yeah.
cars.
You
Yeah.
only see white cars, right?
So I could only think about desserts and sweets. And I was even eating things that didn't taste good. And I'm like, why am I eating this? What's wrong with me? I failed so spectacularly. I would get a medal in it
Okay,
in
so you gave
failing.
us 3 reasons you failed.
Yes.
I don't personally think it's healthy to start with all 3. Which one of those 3 areas would you start with?
So, what I would start with to fix the problem is finding the alternatives and having
Okay.
them in my house.
Okay.
Either I need to make some stuff or buy some stuff. I just need alternatives.
Okay. I mean, that's reality. Like even when we were doing our protein and fiber, we you and I both said the same thing. Like if I don't
Yes.
grocery shop, I'm just winging it the whole day.
Yes. That's exactly what happened. And I knew better, but I didn't do better.
Yeah. That's so comforting because sometimes I feel like you got it all together.
That's what I show because I like to look perfect, be perfect, but I'm not. I'm a failure in
Yeah,
some
which I don't
ways.
think I've ever seen your hair in a ponytail.
Yeah, because it's thinning out. So it's,
Oh gosh. See? Okay, this goes with the whole perfect.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
it was like
Okay.
that about half an hour ago, but I combed it out.
Oh, man.
So
We have to start a poll. Do we want to see Kamna with a ponytail?
you can. Yeah.
And she's like, go ahead. I'm going to ignore it, even what the results are.
I'll show you. I just don't want to be on camera with that. That's all.
Okay. All right. So sorry. Didn't mean to
So
change it.
what was your call to action and how did you do?
Well, wait, I will tell you that in a minute. But are you
Oh,
going to try this week to look for alternatives?
I'm going to
You
keep
are.
working on this because I cannot eat that much sugar. It's not good for me. It makes me in a weird headspace. It amped up my anxiety. It just was made me a mess.
Okay. All
I can't
right.
do it. I need to fix that problem for sure.
All right. Well, mine was, I got to double check and remind myself, but I'm pretty sure mine was to get my Fitbit dots. Am I right on?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just checking to make sure I'm right on that. No, it was not. It was
Oh,
to pre-plan and do my Fitbit dots. So it was a twofold.
okay.
I was supposed to pre-plan 3 days. I think I successfully did two. I might have done three, but it was just a blur last week. And I think it was just, I had a lot going on. But 2 days I successfully planned. And one of those was my mother-in-law's birthday party.
Oh,
So
wow.
from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, I had actually planned 3 pieces of pizza, a piece of cake. I planned everything because I knew what we were basically having. And I did excellent. Like I stayed in track. There was a point at the party when I said, I'm only gonna have 2 pieces of pizza, and I was feeling so good about that decision, and then it was, like, an hour later, and I'm like, "You know what? I think I want another piece of pizza."
Yeah.
And I had it because I had planned to have 3, so but I did sit and think about it, and
Nice.
so anyway, I did great with that. I do wanna try to do 3 again. I think that's a great starting place for me.
Hmm.
And the Fitbit part lit up every I have exercised every day this month. I
You're
don't know who I
kidding.
am or what's going on in my head every day. Last night, now I hope you're sitting down. Last night, the stupid little Fitbit thing wouldn't light up.
Oh,
And
no.
I know I have exercised. I'm like, but it won't light up. I'm like, maybe it didn't register. And I don't know what it is, but I needed to have it light up.
Yeah.
So at 9 o'clock, I went for a walk with my daughter around the block.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not because it was my mother-in-law's birthday. So we were up late anyway. So I was like, I was in bed and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm going for a walk. I gotta get this stupid thing to light up."
I'm dumbfounded. I have nothing to
But
say.
first of all, I Googled, "Why won't my Fitbit circle light up?" to make sure, and then I went for the walk, and then it lit up, and then I went
Oh
to bed
my
and
God.
slept great. Can you believe how freaking determined I am when I have something to, like, light up?
Yes, actually, I can. Streaks are kind of important.
I never thought that I was, like, a streaker. Well, I'm not a streaker for the record, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think it's very motivating to have that streak and to see it and you're like, oh boy, I got to so many. And
Yeah, and
yeah.
it made me realize I need that thing to light up before noon every day.
Oh,
I was like, "This is ridiculous that I'm waiting for it to light up at and checking it at the end of the day." Like,
what a
ridiculous.
good revelation to you.
So I'm like, "Soon as today, I'm gonna light it up right away."
I
Anyway,
love that.
so it was a decent
Yeah. You know
overall.
what's so funny is you often spoke of exercise as, "Oh, it's so awful. I hate it. I'm not doing it." But you might still hate it,
I do, yeah.
but you did 30, I don't know how many days.
20, 21, 20 so far for this month, but if you count the last of June, it's been probably 30 consecutive days.
That's incredible.
It is. I'm excited about it.
Wow, you should be.
Nothing's showing on the scale, but I'm trying not to focus on that.
But you're doing good things for your heart,
I
for your
gotta look at it,
brain.
yeah,
Yeah.
internally, it's helping.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I feel like I talked a lot, so I apologize. All
Now
right.
you're gonna be so self-conscious. I don't like that.
No, forget okay, I pretend I didn't say that. I wanna share my something I love, okay?
Okay.
And actually, I just thought of it. I was gonna go in a different direction, but I'm going in this direction. Right before we recorded, you told me I had, mascara under my eyes, right?
Hmm.
And I thought about it, and I don't know if anybody does this, but, one other use for coconut oil is eye makeup remover.
No way.
Yep, I just take my look, I'm showing you my very simple, organic, unrefined, cold pressed virgin coconut oil. I have a big jar of it, but I scoop it out with a tablespoon, just a literal kitchen tablespoon, in a little Tupperware container, and I keep that in my bathroom cupboard. And then I use those magic eraser cloths, makeup erasers
Oh my gosh.
that you just throw in the washing machine. Have you ever had these?
No, I
They're
need to get
the
it.
best,
Where
the
did you
best.
get that?
The magic eraser cloth? Costco has it seasonally,
Okay.
but you can get them a lot of places. It's called makeup eraser.
It doesn't get gross and ruin your laundry?
No, not at all. I do wash it in the same cycle I wash my bras and stuff,
Okay.
but I throw it in the dryer and everything. But anyway, so
Wow.
I just take it, not even wet, dry, dip it in my coconut oil, and then rub it or the whole thing. And even if you get coconut oil in your eye, it does nothing. I've gotten that happen many times.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Oh my God.
Absolutely the best.
I'm buying I have the coconut oil and I'm gonna buy those
Yeah,
cloths.
and you could just use probably your finger or a washcloth, but these are real, like, microfiber soft
Yeah.
kind of things, and you just throw them in the wash. And then, the other thing about the coconut oil is I've tried every eye makeup remover, and so many of them dry out my eyes more than normal.
Yes.
So
Yes.
bad, or they'll dry the top part out, or they just turn them red. This is my favorite eye makeup remover in the world. So,
This is genius because coconut oil is so good for your skin too.
you can get it anywhere, it does not have to be a specific brand, just go get coconut oil and just use it as your eye makeup remover.
Like an organic one would probably be better.
That's the one I've had, and honestly, I was just thinking, I hope this doesn't go bad because I've probably had it for over 2 years now.
But it would smell, wouldn't it?
Oh, it doesn't, but and it looks perfectly fine.
It's just
There's no expiration date
seriously.
on it, so I think I'm good, but it's the best eye makeup remover that I can, and it's cheap.
And the beautiful thing about this is there's no chemicals, there's no
None.
additives. It's
No,
just something simple
and it works so good.
and
And
it's good for
honestly,
you.
it feels so good, actually. Your eyes feel moisturized,
Hmm.
you know?
That's so smart.
Anyway, so I guess mine was 2 because the magic eraser cloths are the best.
I'm as
Yeah,
soon as we're done, I'm gonna order it
they're
because
really good. They're great
yeah.
Christmas gifts for your daughter. That's what my mom
Oh.
started with. She got us all a pack for Christmas one year.
Oh.
And from there, now I buy them whenever I feel like they last a year or 2, and then I'll buy a new batch. You know how you need new stuff.
Hmm.
So, anyway, there
That's
you
so
go.
good. I love it. I love it when it's your week.
Oh, but I feel the same way. So this is perfect. All right, where are we going today with our topic?
It's such a big issue that we're talking about potentially doing 2 episodes.
Yes, and you thought you actually came up with this idea.
Well, because when well, ourselves, we also feel this, but when our groups and some of the people we're talking to, they're stuck in a loop of the 2 issues that were kept coming up for us were like guilt around just a bunch of things, or trouble asking for help.
Mhm.
And then we were thinking, well, how can you get out of this cycle of these thoughts and retrain your brain? How do you
Mhm.
do that?
And is it
So
possible?
is it possible? Yeah, especially
Right.
if you're old like me, are you going to be able to retrain your brain?
Right. You're not old,
So,
but anyway.
well,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
I know what you
I'm
that
in
that
my
that expression, "You
AARP
can't
age.
teach an old dog new tricks," I think is something that every single person has heard, and it sticks with you, and you get that in
Yes.
your head, and then that becomes your story. "Well, I'm too old to do this, so I'm too old."
Yes.
So you're right.
Right.
And what did you come up with? Anything good?
So where I wanted to start was talking about the guilt and the asking for help and why it shows up. Like, what does that mean? So guilt is often a mask for other feelings like inadequacy, low self-esteem, or even jealousy or resentment.
Oh.
If you feel
Wait, can you say those 3 again? Because I feel like they're totally different.
uh, inadequacy,
Okay.
low self-esteem, which
Oh,
kind of
okay,
go
no. They
together,
go together, yeah.
or even jealousy and resentment.
Wow. Okay.
Like, I'm not good enough for you, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not good enough to do this job, or I'm not good enough in this relationship, or I'm not good enough, XYZ, fill in the blank.
And inadequacies reminds me of, like, if I'm saying, "I really don't wanna ask you for help because I'm worried you're gonna do it better than me."
Oh, yes.
Because I was thinking none of those fell into that, and then I went, "Oh, no, they do." Because if I
Hmm.
don't really wanna ask you for help, like, I'm worried either A, you're gonna do it better than me,
Hmm.
or B, you're gonna be super inadequate at it, and then I'm gonna get even more mad, so there's another inadequacy part there.
Well, you're thinking of a specific dishwasher emptying example, aren't you?
Maybe, just saying. Alright, go on, sorry.
If you feel unnecessary guilt, you may believe you don't deserve happiness, that you are a bad person rather than someone who makes a mistake.
Wow.
And then, so then from there, I went to, well, how is this connected to like asking for help?
Mhm.
And it's kind of tied together for me because you see it as a sign of weakness if you have to ask for help,
Yeah.
right?
I think
And
because do you think that's how we were raised to think that way?
yes, just
Okay.
handle it, figure it out, just do
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then you have learned you can't count on anyone, which translates into you can't count on yourself. And I'll
Mm.
tell you what I mean.
Yeah.
When you don't trust, you also fall into that pattern because you do things that you show that, sorry, you do things to show that you can't be trusted working out, controlling your food, doing your job. You fall short. And instead of accepting that you made a mistake, you blow it up. I will never succeed. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
never do it because I'm not capable. I always fail. So you create a cycle of mistrust within yourself.
That's what I was gonna say. So we basically are saying we don't trust ourselves,
Yes.
and that's what but walk me through why it's hard for me to ask for help?
I'm
Because
saying
I
it
don't
translates into that. You don't trust other people to really show up for
Oh,
you. You
because I
don't
don't trust
really,
myself.
you also don't trust yourself that you're good enough, you're capable enough, you have enough vulnerability to ask for the help. So it's all kind of connected. You create these weird loops, even though they don't seem connected. So these two things, guilt and asking for help, they're kind of in the same boat.
Wow. That's pretty deep.
I think so.
What
And
is
I think a lot of people struggle with this. I don't think it's just you and me and a couple of our members. I
No,
think it's
I think you're right. I mean, there's no I hope that actually more people do, only because then I feel normal,
yes.
you know? I mean, that's pretty selfish, but I that's the truth. Like, I feel like I some of these issues that we uncover, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that does feel that way."
Right. Right. I totally agree.
Mhm.
So that's where I started. And then you saw something which I really want to talk about.
And I'm gonna post it because I found it on YouTube. I found, I think it's called the rider and elephant analogy. Is that
Mhm.
what? Because I sent it to you. I wonder if I should pull it up real quick and the exact wording. Anyway, it's all about the rational part of your brain and the emotional system of your brain. It's 2 parts.
Okay.
So I want you to think about your brain as the rider. You're the person, you're a person. Your brain is this person, and it's sitting on an elephant, and the elephant is the emotional part. So your brain is driving your emotions, right? And
Does
it's trying,
the
go ahead,
does the elephant represent your body or your emotions?
your emotions.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Your brain is like the whole person. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now, this
Okay.
is where I went, "Come to help me figure this out."
Well, but you did better than me, so I think you should keep going.
Well, all right. So I actually didn't do better than you, but I asked my family and all of that for help with this subject. So basically, it's a great video. I'm going to post it and let everybody see it because I think it's very important for us to see. It's all about how we really we want to do something. Our brain is like, I want to do this. I'm going to ask so and so for help. I'm going to really pre-plan my food. But my emotions get in the way of it. And my
Hmm.
emotions are like, no, I'm not gonna ask him because he's just gonna get mad at me and he's not gonna wanna do it, and then blah, 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 right? So I'm fighting these 2 things. That emotion is this elephant, and I'm trying to change the elephant is actually trying to block my brain. And imagine you pushing a 6, I don't know, well, I don't know how much they weigh, 6 ton, let's say 6-ton elephant out of the way. It's hard to do, but that's what
It
we're
would be
trying to do.
impossible. Yeah.
We're actually trying to push an elephant out of the way so that we can get our brain to go through the path. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that's
Or
exactly
we're
what it
trying
feels
to
like.
ride this elephant and we want to steer it down this path. And the elephant's like, no, screw you. I want to go this way. And you're
Yeah.
trying to steer an elephant on a path. Do you know how hard it would be to steer an elephant?
Impossible.
But that's what we're trying to do on a daily
Yes.
basis. And I asked my daughter about it because I really did struggle with it a little bit. And she's like, you're looking at it and you need to look at it as your brain is your rational system and the elephant is your heart. So
Okay.
you're trying to get your heart to get over things or go in a certain way, and it's about as big as an elephant.
Right.
And
It
you came up
seems,
with a great example for it too when I asked you. So what did you say?
well, because it was fresh on my mind was my sugar problem.
Yeah. So tell me more about that.
So I really want to get rid of sugar from my diet. And
Yeah.
I find it really impossible. I find it difficult to take the next step to make that movement.
So
And
your
it's
rational system, the brain, is saying, I want to get rid of sugar. This isn't that hard.
right.
Okay, now put in the next part.
So then my heart's like, well, but we need it. Oh, but we've been so good today. Oh, but you deserve a treat. Oh, but look at how hard you're working. Oh, look how good of a workout you had. I have
And that's a
all these.
big elephant.
Mhm.
Big. That's
Those,
huge.
it's an avalanche of thoughts
Hmm.
of why I deserve that sugar.
Hmm. So one thought, and then like if you compared it, it's like literally like a peanut thought
Mhm.
to the elephant size of all of these
Yes.
emotions go with to go with that one thought. And it's
Yes.
crazy. It's hard. No wonder it's hard.
That makes me feel so much better.
But no wonder it's so hard. Like we take one thought that's
Yes.
literally small, and then we compare it to something ginormous with all of these intermixings of thoughts and feelings in
Yes.
there. And then we're like, well, no wonder I can't do it. And then you feel like a
Right.
failure,
Yes.
right?
Totally. Totally. I don't
So
know why, but that gives me
yeah,
some relief.
to know that it's hard to drive an elephant.
Yes. But it also makes me feel like, I have these expectations of myself that I'm supposed to just do whatever I think I want to do. But it's not as simple as that.
Right.
We go back to it's not simple arithmetic, it's like really complicated calculus.
Right. Well, and go back to the analogy where or the example we started this podcast was like, I want to ask for help for things, right?
Mhm.
So that's one little peanut thought. And then all of the thoughts going along with that is size of an elephant. Well, what if he doesn't want to help? What if he does it the wrong way? What if he gets an attitude with me? What if they don't
Right.
want to? What if they're too busy to help me? What if they let me down? What if they don't do it right? Like what? Again, starting from one thought that's on top of the elephant and we're trying to get it to go somewhere. And then we have all of these things and we're like, oh my God. So that's that whole
Yes.
guilt thing. Like, of course we're going to feel that because it's really hard to navigate it.
Yes. Totally.
So how do we
Totally.
retrain our brain for
So
that?
I was with the help of Tony Robbins, I went to
Okay.
his website. I picked some of his solutions. I added a few of my own.
Ooh.
And I thought this kind of fits in with this because there's some pre-work that has to be done before we can actually retrain our brain
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's not that simple. So the pre-work is this. The first thing is forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself for feeling like a failure.
If you make a mistake, if
Okay.
you don't have confidence, if you are just like I can't do it or I'm not good enough or all the things that you're thinking about yourself, there has to be
Okay.
some forgiveness. If you made a
Okay.
mistake or like with my whole sugar thing last week, I have to forgive myself.
Right.
It's not the end of the world and I'm not a failure.
Had
I
a
made a mis-
busy week, not planful week.
yes.
You weren't prepared,
Yes. I
right?
wasn't prepared. So I have to forgive myself and say, okay, now what? So then that's the next question. Um, okay, I have an example for this.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed to admit this, okay?
Oh, I love these when they start this way. Go on.
Last week, I was going to lunch with some friends, and I always drive because, I need to have control.
Mm.
So I was driving, and we got off the freeway and we're chatting, and I saw this person coming towards me on a bike, and then his lights go off. And I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a ticket. I'm getting a ticket. So is a police officer on a bike. I didn't see him because I was always look out for cars. I didn't really
Wha-
pay attention.
Right.
He pulled me over
On a
and
bike?
on a bike, on a
Oh,
motorcycle, sorry,
oh,
motorcycle.
okay. Okay. All right. Still. Okay. Go
Yeah.
on.
And so he pulled me over and I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. And usually that works for me. Like I just humble pie. I'm so sorry,
Okay.
sir. I was
Yeah.
chatting and I didn't realize. And he's like, okay, give me your license. And then he gave me a ticket. And then when I went to go pay for it online, it was $200. And I was like,
Eh.
I could do a lot
Yeah.
with that $200. And then I was
Yeah.
so mad at myself that I was speeding when I know better. I'm in a business area. I just got off the freeway. I know the tendency is to speed when you get off the freeway. I know better than this.
Right. Right.
But look, I did it. I got the ticket. I paid the money and
Did
now
you
it's
feel, yeah.
over.
God, do you know all the feelings? Anger, guilt. Like there's
Shame
shame, so many feelings when it comes to something like that.
and embarrassment because my friends were sitting in the
Oh my
car
God, that is embarrassing.
and they're like, you should have said this and you should have done this. I'm
One
like,
of them should have acted like they had to go to the bathroom.
that's what my friend said is, oh, you should have said you have to go to the bathroom really badly. But
No, one of them should have just been like, I gotta go to the bathroom, officer. Can you hurry this along? And then you would have been like, yeah, see?
but that's where that shame comes. I'm not
Right.
good enough. I didn't think of those things. I should have
Oh,
said this. I should have done all this. And I'm like, forget it. You know what? It's a moment. I've learned my lesson. I just do better next time.
did you tell your husband?
Yes, I did. I actually, I was worried that he would be upset. I messaged him and the first thing he said, are you okay?
Aw.
I was like, okay, this is not that bad. This is okay.
Okay. Good then.
So that was my example for forgiving yourself. Sometimes you just
Okay.
have to say, you know what, it's okay. I'm all
It's all right.
right. And I forgive
In the
myself.
grand scheme of things, could have been much worse.
100%.
Yeah. Hmm.
100%. The second step is changing your self-talk.
Yes.
This is a little bit of a tough one, but this is what Tony Robbins says. Whatever you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. Your beliefs create your world, period.
Okay. Okay.
Changing to empowering words that focus on your good qualities can help you change the way you think.
So if you always believe you're not good enough,
Yeah,
you're gonna be not good enough.
you're not going to be good enough, or I don't deserve help. I should be able to handle this on my own.
Oh, no. Take that part out. I think so many people say I should be able to handle this on my own.
Yes.
Take that out.
And you can have a list of reasons of why you're supposed to be able to do it alone.
By the
No.
way, that goes back to our one of our first episodes ever was the shooting on yourself.
Yes. I
Mhm.
should be able to do this. I should be able to, and
Right.
I have all the time in the world.
I
And
should just be able to not eat sugar. This shouldn't be that hard. Like,
yes, yes. So changing your self-talk, it takes some practice, but I think it's really important. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you think badly about yourself, bad things will happen. If you
I
think
yes,
you believe that,
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Do you?
I do. I really do. When you put your mind in a positive space, positive things happen. Or maybe you stop focusing on the negatives, so you don't see them as much.
But it's really hard, and I feel like everybody listening needs to remember that it's not easy. Those negative
No,
thoughts about yourself are gonna just pop in all the time, and you have to
100%.
work, a
Yep.
lot of work,
Yep.
an elephant-sized work. It is so hard.
Yes. That,
It is
th-
so hard.
yes.
But I think a great way to practice this is with other people.
Yes. That was my next point.
Oh, good. Look at me. Go on. What is your next point?
Seek out a safe space to talk. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think the pre work in this is you actually need to get out all of those emotions. If you're carrying that elephant around,
Mhm.
you're not going to be able to do anything.
Right.
You actually need to let it out. Someone who listens and who doesn't judge. And the feeling of being heard is really powerful. You almost don't need anyone to do anything else.
You need
You
to, like,
just,
say it out loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to not feel judged. The act of not being judged, I think, encourages bravery.
Wait, say the act of not being
Judged.
judged. Oh, I like
So
it.
if I said to you, Leah, you just talk too much, you're going to be all in your head and you're going to be retreating and just withdrawing. But if I said, Leah, I really love that you're talking. I love your
Oh,
questions. You're
yeah.
going to say, oh, yeah, okay, I can do some more. I'll
Yeah.
do some, I
Just
like it.
keep talking. Right.
Yeah. So if I don't judge you, you're going to be encouraged to do more and be brave.
Mhm.
And that space, the safe space is very important.
It's very important, and everybody needs to have that safe space. I
Hmm.
actually took that when I said it in a different direction, like practicing on other people, when you people that you live with or people that you work with. When you
Hmm.
first of all, notice when they're doing it,
Hmm.
and then try and flip it for them. For them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That goes to my next point. Oh my
Okay.
God, you're like reading my
Okay.
notes.
I maybe.
Seeking out objectivity.
Okay, what does that mean?
So when if I told you, look, I'm so mad at myself, I'm so upset, what would your first reaction be?
Um, well, first I would say, well, why? What I would try and prove to you that you're not.
Right. So you would take a course of action, as most people do, to say, no, you're not really
Yeah,
bad. You're not, it's a mistake. It's okay. That objectivity of this is not the end of the world. Things, and that could be your family member, it could be your friends, it could be, in my case, a lot of times it's my children. Like, get over yourself. It's not bad. Come
right.
on. You're not a bad person. It could be a health coach to
Oh, like
say,
you.
yeah, like me, to help you see your good qualities and provide love and support. And they can also help you change your self talk because you will start to believe the good things.
Okay. I think that's the hard part for most people is believing the good things about themselves.
Hmm. Well, oh my God, seriously, I couldn't have planned your transitions any better.
Oh, okay, go on. What is my next ESP moment?
Surround yourself with positivity.
Oh, that was something I found too. Like you need that.
And good friends who exemplify peace and happiness and also a lack of drama. The drama amps up your anxiety and unease.
Mm.
And instead, if you're laughing and smiling and not worried about what comes next, you can start to let your guard down.
Oh, okay. Is that good to let your guard down?
I think it is because I think I've seen the most change when people let
Oh,
themselves be vulnerable.
vulnerable. I agree. And I realize that those 2 go together. I didn't even connect those dots, but yeah, vulnerability and letting your guard down are the same.
Yeah. You have to have someone to talk to about stuff. You have to be able to really open up. You have to be able to feel like you've released the pressure and just go with it and not surround yourself with drama. And the more you move away from the drama, the less you like it.
Mhm.
Okay, I just have two more.
Okay.
If you
Wait,
slip up, sorry,
I feel so far, all of these things are something that you have to practice. You just can't wake up and do them.
right. That's why I call it pre-work,
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
because this is like the preamble to changing your brain.
Okay.
If you slip up, realize the mistake or old way of thinking, then think about where you slipped up. You have to like do some analysis of what happened. Ate sugar in excess last week. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Brainstorm what you would love to do instead, and then prepare for the next time. So instead of just keeping on beating up yourself, to figure out, where did I slip up? Okay, I didn't have any extra snacks around. So I need to go prepare that, make something, go shopping, and then next time I'll be ready.
That's the thought work that we have to do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is this. I kind of like this one. If you get stuck in the old loop of, I can't ask for help, I should be able to do it on my own, physically get up and move from
Mm-hmm.
that space. And the reason I thought of this is, have you ever gotten, you were like, I need to go get my keys. Okay. And then you go into that room and you're like, why did I come in here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was I looking for? And then
Mm.
you actually physically have to retrace your steps to go back to the original thought.
Yes.
If you do that with negative thoughts, it's also the same idea. Is you physically get up and move, you're like, oh, I forgot what I was thinking about.
Oh my gosh, you just connected dots for me. Like it just yeah. Because I have seen people in my life stuck in a negative loop.
Really?
Yeah, and I think you're right. If you just get them up and move,
Mm-hmm.
eventually they'll get out of that, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Great point.
So I think this is all like the pre-work, which I know that sounds like extra work, but I think you have to get your brain and your heart, your so the rider and the elephant ready to go on the journey.
Yeah, and things coming your way
Yeah.
all the time.
And how do you handle that?
Yeah, it's work. It is work.
So then where did you go next?
Well, actually, I went in around the same direction, but when I was doing this, there was everything kept coming up with your subconscious, which I think needs a whole episode on the
Mm,
power of your subconscious. But anyway, I thought of paying attention to your thoughts, right? That's like you said, that's the thought work. Like I have to pay attention to those unhelpful thoughts as they enter my brain.
okay.
Like when you were eating sugar, an unhelpful thought would be like, God, I fail at this every day. I'm waking up, I'm trying, and I fail. I have heard many people say, I do really great at breakfast and dinner, and every day I fail at dinner
Hmm.
or breakfast and lunch, and then every day I fail at dinner. I fail after 7, or I fail at my nighttime meeting. Aware of that. That's not helpful. By you
Right.
telling yourself that you eat every night at 7 is not very helpful, right? So,
Right.
I want you to think of a teardrop,
Okay.
a tear. You know, can you picture
Yeah.
it like looks like almost like a raindrop, but we're calling it a tear. For this process, you need two. You need a teardrop, and then you're like a sad one, and then you're going to need a happy one. And
Okay.
each tear, you're going to write a T-E-A-R and break your tear into 4 pieces.
Okay.
So you got it?
Yep.
The T stands for your thought. You're going to write down that thought. So
Okay.
I did mine. I'm never going to lose this weight.
Okay.
That's my thought. That is my sad tear on this side. I'm never going to lose my weight. The E is the next thing, which is my emotion. What do you feel
Okay.
when I feel that? I feel like self-hate and I feel like a
Yes.
failure, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then my A, when I feel that, is I'm going to eat cake. I'm going to eat cookies. I'm going to just, who cares? I'm not going to care. My actual action is to give up, to not care anymore and just eat whatever. And
Hmm.
then the result of that is what? Gaining weight. So that's my
And
sad Tear. The part of this that works is you have to do a positive tier right next to it.
right.
You have to. You have to line it up and go, okay, so what thought could I have instead of I'm never going to lose weight? I'm going to lose half a pound.
Oh, okay.
Because my first initial thought is I'm never going to lose weight. Well, maybe I want to lose 10 pounds. That's ridiculous.
Right.
okay, I can lose a half a pound or 0.2 or whatever. So
Yeah.
again, that teardrop is right next to it. My T being all right now, so I'm going to lose a half a pound.
Hmm.
The emotion into I'm going to lose a half a pound is what I feel a little hope, feel a little bit more
Mm.
motivation. I'm like, all right, I could do a half a pound. So I feel like determined now. So you got the
Yeah.
T and the E. Now I got the A, which is the action. So I go, okay, I feel a little hope and I feel a little motivated. What's my action going to be? I'm going to pre plan because from last week's episode, you guys all know that my first step is the pre planning, has to
Mm.
be done. And then the results of that would hopefully I would lose some weight or at least feel better about myself.
Okay.
So it's a two-part process to really do the deep work. You have to acknowledge the negative thought, and then you have to do the work next to it and say, okay, every time I feel this way, I have to get it to this side.
So it's switching your thinking.
It's retraining your thinking. It's
Okay.
retraining your brain to go, okay, every time I say I can't lose weight, I'm going to say, I can lose a half a pound this week.
Yeah. Right. Or even you can even change that to
I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to,
right.
yeah.
I'm
But
gonna avoid processed foods, or I'm gonna cut
mhm,
my uh,
right.
snacks or
This could
whatever.
work for like anything. And actually, it could really do for your life goals, your employment goals, your
Oh,
relationship goals. Like you could put my first thought is I'm going to always live paycheck to paycheck. And then the emotion attached to that and the action and then the results. You could do something like that. Or you could do it's a really great strategy for retraining your thinking because like you said, like our thoughts are really what fuels our actions.
yes.
And you're
And we've heard about this, the think, feel, do loop.
Mhm.
But really, what does that mean?
Here's my
I,
picture of it, by the way, if you're on YouTube and want to see. I actually did the work. It's like a teardrop. See?
I'll check your whole page up. I like it.
I did well, I made it that way because I like visuals anyway, but I think it's important to really do that work.
Yeah.
I mean, it could work
And
for kids. I could be like, if you feel you're gonna fail this test, all right, let's do it. The thought is I'm gonna get an F. Okay, let's
mhm.
go for it. You know?
That reminds me of when my kids were, I guess, probably junior high, high school, and that's a very angsty age.
Yeah.
And something would happen. So I would say, okay, you have today to just feel bad. Tomorrow we do something different.
Mhm. You've
Because
told me that before.
you have to have a moment of just being sad or upset or whatever the emotion is. Like the elephant is still there. And if you
Mhm.
don't acknowledge the elephant, then
Mhm.
you're just floating on air. I don't know what that would
I
look
think
like.
that's so helpful to hear, actually. It's like, yeah, you're right. This does stink. This is a terrible situation. It's
Yeah.
okay to acknowledge it,
Hmm.
sit with it, but you can't allow it to take up too much space. At least you
Well,
got to start moving the elephant. Like, even if it's not going
well,
to go away.
this is actually a catch 22 because if you don't acknowledge your feelings, the elephant doesn't move at
Mm.
all. And if someone, and I've heard this probably my whole life, I even heard it yesterday. Oh, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't make a big deal. You shouldn't, it's not a, don't feel upset. I get told that so often. That is actually counteract. What's the word I'm looking for?
Counterproductive?
Counterproductive to what I really want to do, which is I need to get the emotion out. I need to tell someone. So then I can get rid of that and then do what my brain is telling me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be stuck there. I just need to let it out. That's why finding a safe space, finding someone to talk to who's positive and, can say, yeah, yes, I understand why you feel that way, but you're a good
Yeah.
person. It
Right.
all ties together, I think.
Comes full circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are we going to be talking about this next week, you think?
Maybe. What do you think?
I think we have to because I'm really curious about all that subconscious stuff you were talking
I did
about.
so much work on the subconscious. I had no idea that it was so powerful. Yeah, maybe we should because I have another great analogy to share, but I'll just tease it.
Oh,
Yeah, I won't
okay.
even tell you. I even have like great strategies on how to know if you need to retrain your brain. How do you
Oh,
know if you need to do this teardrop work? Dot, 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 to be continued.
oh, that's a good tease.
I know, isn't it? What's your call to action this week?
My call to action, because you've said it now 3 times in this episode, is that's a sign from the universe that I need to do this.
Okay.
I am going to pre-plan my week. And what that means to me specifically is I'm going to roughly plan out my meals so that I have the focus on protein and fiber, because I've slipped a little bit from that.
Okay.
I need to do some what do you call prepping of my vegetables so they're ready and chopped and ready to go when I want to snack. I
Okay.
need to do some work ahead of the week so that I'm all set for success.
Okay.
So I'm
That's kind of
planning 7 days.
oh, what?
Hmm.
You're going for 7 out of 7.
7 out of 7.
Okay, I'm gonna be you. Is that doable?
Yes, actually, this week it is doable.
Okay. I'm so glad you added that this week it's doable because I don't
Yes.
feel like sometimes it could not for you. I'm just saying in general. Like
If
sometimes
I'm
it's
traveling, there's no way.
right. Okay, so this week you're gonna do 7 out of 7. Does that mean you're gonna pre-plan at night when you're at your best or in the morning when you're laying and scrolling on your phone? Unless you stop doing that.
I hate that you know me so well.
You've told us.
But you're not supposed to remember. I think I'll probably do it in one shot.
Oh, like on to like Monday morning? The
Yeah,
whole
because that'll affect my grocery shopping. That'll affect my prepping of my veggies. I want to be ready to go. I don't want to have to spend time thinking and then ending up picking things that are not high in protein. And I want to really plan well.
okay. I want to know how you do that, how that goes. I'm very curious to know how it works when you pre-plan on Monday.
Me too.
Like, I really want to know, like, do you really stick to it by Thursday? Do you get sick of something? Are you like, oh, I hate, like, I'm very curious because I don't know if I've ever done it on a Monday or a Sunday for the whole week.
Well, I think some of our members are like, I plan, but if I don't feel like eating that, I swap days with some other
Yes.
meal, which
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly within the limits of planning
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's still
absolutely.
part of your
Right.
whatever you had thought about.
Mhm. Okay. I can't wait to hear how that goes. I really
What
like,
about yours? What is yours?
dun dun dun. Mine is I'm gonna do 3 days of pre-planning.
What does that mean to you?
Same as what like, but to me that is either at night or early morning. I'm gonna go through and figure out what I'm eating for the whole day. But I'm only gonna
Oh.
do 3 because I don't know what happens in life. I really clearly I forgot what happened last week, so it's just 3 days is about all I can manage. But then along with that, I really need to get back to my protein and fiber.
Hmm.
I let that slip. I did my average last night, and I'm about 53 grams of protein a day.
Yeah,
I really wanna get to 70. That's where I was in June, and I felt
right.
better. I lost weight. I had a lot better things going. I mean, I just it really does make a difference for my body, so I really need to go
Yeah.
back to that. And again, going back to my flow chart, the only way that I'm going to get 70 grams of fiber or protein in a day is that pre-planning.
Right.
It's it. It's the only way.
I totally agree. I'm excited for us this week.
Me too. I think we're gonna have a good week.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.